first line is property tax. You have something
I just need to go, she's leaving.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The first line is property tax, and although we were told earlier in the year that our estimated values would probably go down, they actually did not. They went up. Last year total taxable value was $158,277,651. This year it is $171,742,255, which is approximately 15 to 20 million, give or take. And so we've had a really good year this year. Our property tax have been collected. We've got a real high rate of collection. And so for next year, I've been a little conservative in the projection, but it's basically what the tax appraisal district has said we could generate using the same tax rate that we have this year. Now, until he gets my certified values and gives us a projected rollback rate, that's what I have projected the revenue on. It may come down a little if the rollback rate is less than our existing rate. But at this time, I've left it the same as last year. The next one is, there's several under, but they're all tied to property tax. One is delinquent taxes, which we don't actually budget for because supposedly nobody's delinquent. And the next one is penalties and interest, which I budgeted $5,000 for. That's about what the amount of penalties and interest we collect on late taxes. Next one is sales tax. And as everybody knows, we've really gone down in our collection of sales tax. We had projected $750 last budget year, and it looks like we're going to come in around $560, $570, somewhere in that area. So for the new year, I've proposed $550. I'm being very conservative. If the economy turns around, that could become a much larger number. Okay, the intergovernment revenue is the county share of the animal control facilities and things like that. The building, the gas, the truck. Next one is mixed drink revenue. That comes from places like the Expo Center and private clubs and things within the city limits that sell mixed drinks. The next one is gross tax receipts. That's our franchise fees. They come from utility poles, they come from laying cables in our street right away. It comes from anybody that does business in our city that pays to use our right-of-ways. And that stays pretty constant. So I've left it, it's gone up a little bit. I've left it kind of long distance, and it's gone up a little bit because, you know, there's so many different companies that give telephone service now. So it varies from month to month. One company will have 10 or 15 customers in Glen Rose. The next month they won't have any. And so it varies to a certain degree, but not a whole lot. The next one is permits. That's permits to build, to plumb, to run electricity, to build a swimming pool, to put up a sign, to have a garage sale, and anything that could be broadly characterized as a permit. Last year we budgeted 25. Looks like we're going to get around 17, although in the last week or so we've had a couple of builders come in and buy permits, so that may be looking up a little. So I projected 20 for income next year. Pound fees, that's when Tammy picks up a stray dog and puts it in the pound, and if people come to claim it, they pay us $8 a day for, you know, boarding the dog. So that's been picking up over the years and looks good. The next one is municipal fines. That's a good old buck. And he has really raised our revenue in that area. It looks like we're going to collect $40,000 this year, which is way up there. So in order to be conservative, and maybe he scared off a few speeders, I've lowered it a little bit for revenue purposes, down to 30. Court security fund, that's little token gifts that the state lets us keep off of a fine, and they don't amount to much, you know. except for the deferred adjudication. Now this is a thing that a person can get. It's actually called deferred disposition for municipal courts. So I need to change that heading. But if they don't want that fine to go to Austin on their record, they can ask for deferred disposition. We charge them $50 for that. And if they pay their fine and the $50, then their ticket stays here in Glen Rose and it doesn't go to Austin. But they cannot get another ticket for the next 6 months. And that's generated 12, 13,000 a year. And in the interest, that's just bottomed out completely. So I projected 5,000 in the general fund, which may go up this year. I doubt it very seriously. The next one is just miscellaneous. That's just revenue, like for when people want a planning and zoning change, or they want a board of adjustments change, and we charge them a $100 publication fee. That's where this money goes. And for any other miscellaneous, like if we sell scrap iron or something, which we haven't done for years and years, or if we have an auction and we sell stuff, that's where it goes. Management fee, that's what water and sewer pays to the general fund for Darla to do the water bills and to buy all the supplies and take the money. And that pretty much covers the revenues. It looks like about $1,570,000 that I projected. These the estimates for last year, they're just estimates, ladies and gentlemen. They're just a good guess. And it looks like this year we're going to generate about $1,612,000, and that's about $70,000 less than we have projected, which is not a great, loss on our part. So we're still doing pretty well. The next one is a comparison of the expenses to the revenues, and with the budget that we have put in place, or not put in place, but proposed to council, it looks like we're going to have a small shortfall of $91,000. Now this, all of this is just based on what I think is going to happen next year. We could have lesser of a shortfall, we could have more, depending on how the revenues come in. But I can tell you on the expenses that we budgeted, we have, in the years that I've been doing the budget, we have never used everything that we have projected as an expense. We always have revenues left at the end of the year. So this 93 is a paper number. It doesn't necessarily reflect what actually can or will happen.